That's me. Neighborhood, that's Nick. Neighborhood, do the dance. Neighborhood, do the dip. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way.
Ashley, do you remember your very first real estate transaction?
Yes, I do. It would be a hard one to forget since it's basically what got me started in real estate. I worked for an investor and I approached his son to be my partner on my first deal. I found us a duplex and my partner was going to put in all the cash to purchase it with a cash offer. And we ended up getting the duplex. The downstairs was rented out and the upstairs needed some minor renovations done to it. So my partner, he told his roommate, hey, you don't have to pay rent for a month if you come in do the rehab in this apartment for us. And then we just paid for the materials and we put in some new flooring, new kitchen cabinets, countertop, and then a new vanity in the bathroom, and then painted the unit. So we got it all rented out and we're like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. We had fun doing it. I mean, my partner is pretty passive. We started doing it with 50-50 in the LLC. So we each owned 50% of it. And then the money that my partner put into the property, he received a principal and interest payment every month to pay him back for that money that he put into the deal.
So it was a transaction where you actually made money on it. It wasn't a huge loss or any nightmare.
Right, exactly. It actually worked out pretty well. A couple years later, we did have a nightmare tenant that actually was an employee of my partner, and it made it pretty awkward, but we ended up having to go through the eviction process, and they were evicted and had to leave and left the apartment a mess, and we had to remodel it again.
So on the deal, you were able to find the property and then approach him to help purchase the property?
Yeah, so I had started talking to him about real estate investing because his dad did it and he hadn't done any yet. So I just said, look, like I can help you get started. I know what to do from working for your dad. Would you be interested in partnering? And I just brought it up as much as I could and just tried to like plant the seed so that when I did find the deal, he was like gung-ho, excited and ready to invest in it.
What were you looking for in your first property? Were you looking for single family or were you strategically looking for a duplex?
Definitely a duplex because the person I worked for, he did multifamily, like 40 unit apartment complexes. And I just saw like, wow, like you have so many units under one roof instead of having multiple units all over the place. And since then, I've actually changed my mind on this. I actually prefer single family now just because that person has their own house and there's less tenant disputes. The tenant in the single family is paying for everything themselves, where you have a lot of common area maintenance in the 40 unit apartment complexes or even the duplexes. You might have maintenance in there too, just like the snow plowing, the lawn care, stuff like that.
And how long after your first purchase and rehab, after getting that going, were you comfortable to say, hey, I think we can do this again?
So it was about, I think we closed on it in September 2014. We bought our next one in February 2015. My partner actually went and got a home equity loan on his house, and we were able to use that money to purchase our second property. And then after we purchased that, we went and refinanced with a bank and did a portfolio loan where the bank put a mortgage on both of the properties. So we had one big mortgage that covered both properties as collateral, and then we had one mortgage payment we made a month.
So one mortgage payment on two properties?
Yep. And we actually eventually sold that very first property we bought. We just sold it last year. And when we sold it, we had to go to the bank because we were pulling one property off of the portfolio loan, but keeping another one. So what they did is they looked at how much we had paid down on the mortgage, how much would be being paid off when we sold the other property, and actually we sold the properties for so much higher than we bought it for, and we had paid down so much of our loan that we didn't even have to pay the bank any money because they looked at the value of the second property that would stay on the loan, and it was enough to cover the loan still as collateral, just that building by itself.
So through all the purchasing of properties and everything that you've done, I know it's been quite a few at this point, have there been any nightmares where you said, okay, we really screwed this one up?
Not like anything super bad, which I feel very fortunate for. Definitely a lot of learning experiences, but I try to keep a nice network around me where, I have another partner who started investing before we became partners, and, then his brother started investing. And I think just like the group of us, we really help each other out. So if there is something I don't know or I need help with, like, they are, a great asset and tool to have to help and support me. And then I do the same for them. We did have a tenant try and sue us once where they fell on the sidewalk outside of the rental house. And at this house, the snow removal is their responsibility. So they sent us a letter suing us, and they were on a month-to-month lease. So we sent them a letter saying that we were terminating their month-to-month lease, and immediately we received a phone call like, oh my God, we're so sorry. We thought our attorney was going to sue the village, not you. So it ended up working out fine.
Were they able to stay in the property?
Yeah, we did let them stay if they, canceled the lawsuit against us, and they're still in the property today. We had bought it in 2018, and they've lived there ever since. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to hear more about my real estate business or even my retail business, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what investment opportunity are you thinking about doing next.
That's me. Neighborhood, that's Nick. Neighborhood, do the dance. Neighborhood, do the deal. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm